AP coordinators, here we go.
Yep, it's time to get serious about digital testing, hybrid digital testing, a full week of late testing, PPRs for AP Computer Science principals. There's a lot to plan for.
Right. And chat with a coordinator is definitely the place to be.
Absolutely. Chat with a Coordinator is a series of small group Zoom sessions. New and experienced AP coordinators come to collaborate, ask and answer questions, and some just listen in to what others are asking and answering.
Space is limited and is sure to fill up quickly. Don't delay. Register right now. Link to register in the show notes, or you can go to collegeboard.org/AP Coordinator Experience. Again, that's collegeboard.org/AP Coordinator Experience.
Get ready to chat it up. Get ready for Chat with a Coordinator. Coordinated, episode 263, a permanent improvement to temporary supports.
Greetings, AP coordinators. Derek Cometa here, Senior Director, AP Coordinator Experience for the AP program and former AP Coordinator.
And I'm Karli Suge, School Counselor and AP Coordinator.
Thanks for joining us. It's Monday, February 17th, 2025. Some big news to share today. Absolutely making this the place to be to hear all the latest and greatest in the world of AP coordinators.
And the world of SSD coordinators as well. I'm ready for a permanent process improvement. I'm ready to get coordinated.
Good morning, Karli.
Good morning, Derek. Hey, did you like my PPI? Personally, I think it's better than the PPR.
I think you lost me. PPI?
Yes, PPI, permanent process improvement. We should have more of these.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we probably should. I'll keep working on that.
Please do. And let's get to it and talk about some accommodations today.
Yes, good idea. And specifically, let's talk about temporary accommodations for AP students and the process by which the SSD coordinators request them. We are excited to share a major change.
Derek, as the saying goes, let's pump the brakes.
What? Oh. Karli, you're right. We should rewind. Karli, let's start with this. What are temporary supports?
Well, that's a great question and a great place to start the conversation, Derek. Temporary supports are supports for students with temporary injuries or conditions, such as a broken arm or temporary eye injury. Side note, I also like rewinding to the part where you say, Karli, you're right.
I'm sure you do. Okay, back to the big news. Are we ready now?
Ready.
So, beginning in spring of 2025, these requests for temporary accommodations will now be submitted in SSD Online, and they'll be submitted in the same way that requests for permanent accommodations are requested. Meaning
No more paper requests, no more faxing. The new process is quicker and more efficient for SSD coordinators. And SSD coordinators will be able to easily see and track requests for temporary supports in SSD Online, which is the same place they track other accommodations. Also meaning, woohoo!
Yes, this is great news. Love it. Question, Karli. Why are we talking about this on the podcast for AP coordinators?
Two very good reasons. One, Many AP coordinators are also the SSD coordinator at their school, so we're just helping to spread the good news. And two, if you are not the SSD coordinator, reach out to that person and make sure they are in the loop. Since these requests often come in at the relative last minute, it's important that everyone is on the same page with the new process and tracking.
Absolutely. Typically, temporary supports are submitted for students suffering an injury close to test date. Generally, not something we plan for,
Mhm.
and often not something we can predict either.
Right, so true. And I personally suggest staying in constant contact with your SSD coordinator. It's important because changes like these can also require changes to proctors and testing rooms. And sometimes we also need to order an exam for the late testing window.
Great point, and I'll make this my last thought on this topic. When these situations come up, and of course we hope they don't,
Mhm.
but when they do, very often the first and best option is simply to move the student to late testing. Now, if that's not going to work schedule wise for some reason, and or the student may not be fully healed by then, well, that's where these temporary accommodations can come into play and provide a solution.
Derek, that's well said. Very thoughtful.
Why, thank you, Karli. We better finish up while you are feeling so positive about me. I have a feeling it will only be temporary. Ha ha ha.
Oh, Derek. Once again, your sense of humor leaves me nearly speechless. Let's close it out with our coordinated call to action. Fellow AP coordinators, even if you are not the SSD coordinator at your school, it's worth a minute to check out the online information on SSD. Link in the show notes. Requests for temporary accommodations can pop up when we least expect them. This permanent process improvement is so helpful, and at a time when there's no time to waste. Speaking of, it's always time for SSD Online, SSD coordinators, and of course, AP coordinators to be in sync and very, coordinated.
AP coordinators, thanks again for joining us. We'll be back again next week with a conversation about some additional supports. This time, they are specifically for our favorite people in all of education, AP coordinators. Don't miss it.
And for all our support of AP students. Yep, our support. AP coordinators, we are truly good as gold.
And maybe I just don't know. I'll say it over and over and over again till I believe it's so. I'm good as gold.
AP coordinators, check this out. There's a party waiting just for you.
What's that? An on-demand party? That can only mean
Available now, our annual release party of the AP Coordinators Manual, Part 2.
I love it. The video highlights what's new for this year and a few things that are so new they didn't even make it into the manual.
Don't miss out. link in the show notes, or you can connect to the video at collegeboard.org/AP Coordinator Experience. Again, that's collegeboard.org/AP Coordinator Experience.